we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports, Fantasy Football, and Game Source. We appreciate everyone out there listening to all of our great shows, and if you can, please give us that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, if you can share, and subscribe, because we really need the help, especially on days where we got robbed like this. So you can go ahead, please share, subscribe, follow, or whatever you can to help us right here at the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Game Source, Inside Sports, Fantasy Football. Of course, the great folks at LakersBall.com, and they're raging up a storm after we got robbed at LakersBall.com. Plus, also as well, if you want your lawn transformed into something much more beautiful than it is today, please head over to Simblades with the Y.com. Plus, our good friends at Lakerholics.com. Laker Tom and Jamie Sweet are pissed at the fact that we were robbed, and you're going to be sharing their thoughts at Lakerholics.com. Plus, our good friends at the Hoop Heads Podcast Network, who probably also know that we got robbed. And if you can go ahead and support that everywhere you can, it is sincerely appreciated. Zanger Sign says, I don't care what happened. It all comes down to that winning basket where the refs swallowed their whistle. And yes, it did. But the Lakers headed into Boston to close out Rivals Week. NBA had its Rivals Week. And what a better rivalry to go ahead and end Rivals Week with than the Lakers and Celtics. And for whatever the game was, you can say it was a clear clash with great importance on prime time, ABC right there for you. And it lived up to its billing as the Lakers got out to a first half lead. Celtics come back, pull away a little bit, but the Lakers came back strong in the fourth quarter. And Patrick Beverley, we went on the Patrick Beverley roller coaster ride with his first dunk in over 2 years, putting the Lakers ahead. Unfortunately, he couldn't follow that up with 2 free throws, only got 1. That left the door open for the Celtics to tie the game. And the Lakers, with 4 seconds left, with LeBron James coming down the lane, exactly like we want him to, unfortunately, got hacked, and the refs didn't call it. And that sent the Lakers to overtime, where they just couldn't keep up the energy throughout the overtime. And unfortunately, they fall 125-121 to the dreaded Boston Celtics after they got robbed by the refs at the end of the game. Although with the Lakers, there was some very bad mistakes mentally that was made. I mean, when it comes to Jaylen Brown getting his 5th foul early in the fourth quarter, or was it late in the third quarter? How do you not go after him time and time again on defense to try and get him out of the game is unbelievable. And he came back to bite the Lakers in the ass in overtime, as he scored quite a bit in overtime. Mistake there. And plus, Patrick Beverley, for all the great things he did at the last minute, also did some stupid things in that last minute as well, committing a foul on Jaylen Brown, giving him an and one, which he just let the ball go. Would have given a layup, and the Lakers still would have been up 1. It wasn't the Lakers' day, obviously, and the Lakers lose 125-121. And here today to talk about today's game, first man up, first man here. I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody know. I will let everybody know right now. He's the madman from Toronto. You got to go ahead and check him out when he gets out of Toronto traffic. It is Sean Grice. And Sean, great to have you here, my friend. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. You were very, raw and unfiltered on the playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. If you want to hear Joe and Sean unfiltered, it was something to behold. I'll leave it at that. But several things you pointed out in the fourth quarter as far as the mistakes being made by the Lakers came back and haunted them. But the most important thing is that the refs absolutely choked on the whistle when they needed to call a foul.
Absolutely, Gerald. They just choked and decided that they weren't going to be unbiased. They were going to be biased, and they were biased tonight. They take an oath with the NBA that their officiating will be impartial and fair. Neither occurred on that play. And just to point out, the three referees tonight were head referee was Eric Lewis.
Fired.
The backline ref was a man named Jason Goebel.
Fired.
Jason Goebel was the official who saw Jason Tatum smack LeBron right in the arm, and he didn't call a thing. He watched it happen, and he just let it go. And the third referee was a man named Andy Nagy. Now, Eric Lewis has refereed over 1,000 games in the NBA, so that is a lengthy career. But Jason Goebel, who was the backline judge who saw Tatum whack him, has refereed in less than 300 games, and the other guy has refereed less than 90. So this was a relatively inexperienced crew. And look, Gerald, I've been critical of the officials basically all year, and that's not normally like me. I don't normally blame or call out officials normally, but this season in particular has been horrible. They've been just really, really bad. It's been bad focus, bad impartiality, and just overall just a bad vibe about the game. And yeah, we can go on about the officials, but the fact was Pat Bev cost us 2 points by being really foolish. Yes, he got a really great dunk, and congratulations for him, but he cost us a 3-point play, and then he cost us a technical foul by being really, really silly and grabbing a camera and basically shoving it in front of Eric Lewis's face. That was bound to get him a technical. And
Which it did, which it cost the Lakers a point.
yeah, it did. And the Celtics opened up overtime 106-105. The Lakers had a couple of opportunities in overtime to keep their heads above water, but it just wasn't the case. I'd just like to point out this is the second time that the Lakers have had a superstar with 5 fouls going into overtime and didn't even decide to attack them once. They didn't attack Luka Doncic once when the Lakers went into double OT with the Mavs. And again, Darvin Ham decides he's not going to go at Jaylen Brown, even though Jaylen Brown is clapping back at you every chance he gets in overtime.
The dude had 5 fouls for over a quarter.
Over a quarter. That's right. Over a quarter. And you basically didn't go at him. So that's just bad adjustments by the coaching staff and not recognizing certain matchups or certain advantages you can have there. Look, they were missing Marcus Smart and Robert Williams. All due respect to Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart is the best perimeter defender. And all due respect to Al Horford, Time Lord is a better paint protector than him. But in spite of that, they weren't shooting the three well in the first half, and we were right there with them. And it pisses me off that this happened this way, but you just got to suck it up. This is the NBA. They're professionals. It's one possession to the next. And yeah, it really pisses me off because tomorrow we're all going to read that last 2-minute report, and they're going to say, blah, blah, blah. Tatum hit LeBron on the arm. The foul should have been called. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It just pisses me off.
Also here today to talk about today's game. I know Joe will probably want to go last because he has plenty to say, and I know he needs time to cool down because he was absolutely pissed off at the fact that we were robbed. He's a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and welcome him back. Welcome back to us after a long time. It is good to see him again under unfortunate circumstances. It is LRob. LRob, great to have you back, my friend. So great to hear from you. I know that is not under the best of circumstances, but man, we got robbed today. There were still mistakes made by us, by Pat Bev, by the coaching staff, by what Sean discussed. But in the end, we got robbed by the refs, and that's just all we can say.
Someone have a couch. I need some therapy. I mean, this is usually it's a game and you kind of let it go, but this is, I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. You're paid to referee the game. You see a call, make a call. Do not wait until after the play is over. I mean, I can't even remember how many times they waited till after the play was over and then blew the whistle. It's like, make the call. I'm like MagicMan said, you really don't like blaming the referees, but when it's blatant like that, I mean, if LeBron James can't get a call, this is LeBron. I mean, he's going to the rack. You've given the Celtics every call. They shot twice as many free throws. When LeBron goes to the hole, make the call. So yeah, it's frustrating. Darvin Ham, it wasn't his finest hour. I don't know why he's got Anthony Davis playing all those minutes. He's gassed. He's not doing anything. They stick Al Horford in the corner, and Anthony Davis is. I mean, he's not blocking. He's not guarding the paint. So what good is he in the game? They got Malcolm Brogdon in there. You're not running anything for him to get the ball. That was coaching malpractice, basically. Lonnie Walker's having a good game. Put him in. You need some spacing. You need some scoring. You need some athleticism. He can put the ball in the rack. It's frustrating, and it's against Boston too. So you hate losing to them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I just need to come on just to kind of vent a little bit. So.
Well, we're always here for you, my friend. Always here for you, and it's always great to see and hear from you. Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately get robbed on a last-minute no call, a last-second no call in the fourth quarter, and eventually run.
But it's not just that, Gerald. It was bad officiating the whole game from beginning to end. Yes, that last play was under the microscope, but they made a lot of bad calls. I mean, with about a minute to go, Davis catch it, shoots, Horford hip checks him, the same stuff they've been giving to Boston all game, and they just look at him. I mean, it was consistently bad against the Lakers. I mean, it was not like it was bad both ways.
It was just very disappointing to see the way the Lakers, the disparity in the free throws said it all. But also here today to talk about today's game. Good man indeed. He is a very angry man, as I am right now, but I'm glad he did make it on the show. I'm glad he did decide to come back to us on the program. It is the man behind SimBlades, SimBladesWithAY.com. If you're in the Southern California area, please go ahead and transform your lawn today with SimBlades.com. And of course, everything that's going on with LakersBall.com as Ox1947. It is Joe Soro. And Joe, I mean, you were really upset. You feel free to go ahead and be as unfiltered as you want. I will go ahead and bleep it out for those in audio as best I can. But my friend, this is not good at all a look for the NBA to be blowing that call at such a pivotal moment.
I was able to cool down a little bit with LRob and MagicMan speaking, and with your open. The free throw disparity was 39-20. Now, sometimes the disparity can be misleading. Some teams are more aggressive to the basket, and you can say they're getting all the calls because they're going to the basket. I've had that discussion several times in my life, because a lot of times you do put on the Homer glasses and you're going back and forth until you see the tape, right? You see the tape. This team was more aggressive. They're going to get more calls that way. This was a game where they were equally going to the basket. And you have a team that had double the free throw attempts. And the one call that they didn't make, and I'll get to Darvin Ham and I'll get to Pat Bev and I'll get to Russell Westbrook right now, but canceling all those things, LeBron James, we have discussed this all year. We have discussed this for years, actually. LeBron did something tonight I've been begging him to do in these moments. and he did it perfect. He absolutely executed it about as perfect as he could have ever executed it. And the reward after getting smacked, it was a smack. It wasn't the ball in his hand and they hit his hand. I could say a little bit there, okay. But this was a freaking foul on the forearm, right in front of that ref. I don't know who the hell that is, Sean.
Yeah, his name is Jason. His name is Jason Goebel.
LeBron James does not miss wide open layups like that. Okay,
That badly.
That was open. That wasn't any kind of any. It was he would have made that layup or would have at least hit one free throw to win that game because there would have been possibly 0.3 seconds left on that clock. The hurt came from there. That's where that anger resonated. Because imagine you've been begging for something for so long and you finally get it and some asshole jacks it up.
That's better way to say it. No better way to say it.
And for what? Because you don't want to make a call at the end of the game? It's a goddamn foul. Call the foul. Why aren't you calling the foul? It's a foul. It's blatant.
That's your job.
If it was a little bit of body connect, okay. If it was hand on ball with hand on the ball, fine. This was a blatant foul. It was blatant. And it was in front of you. It was in front of you. It was in front of you too. That's what bothers me. It was in front of you. So why? Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
Well, what did I tell you, Sean? Don't ever interrupt his rants.
Why aren't you calling a foul on that? It was in front of you. If you're on the left side, if you're on the right side, I could give you that. You were right there. You saw it. You were right there.
Everyone saw him.
What were you looking at?
Everyone saw him see it. Everybody saw him see it. He was looking right at it. And Zanger, I've been watching LeBron play since he came in the league. I never saw him that performative before about getting fouled. The three hardest players to ever officiate in the NBA are Wilt, Shaq, and LeBron. But that was blatant. That was obvious. It wasn't an iffy call. There wasn't bodies blocking the official. He saw the whole thing, and he didn't do his job. The NBA should suspend this referee. He should be suspended for what he did. He didn't do his job. He wasn't unbiased. He was biased. He didn't make a call. That is against policy.
Just disappointing.
I was irritated when Kendrick Nunn was fouled on a three that could have given him a 4-point play to tie the game. This one, I can't remember a misfoul call this blatant. And I really try to stay away from this fouling and they're against us crap, because a lot of times it's bull crap. It's just like assuming that the commentary is against you. It's always one of those things where you're filtered through your own fandom and you can't see through the other side. Okay, this was not. This has been a repeated issue this year. It has been a repeated issue, and it's blatant. If it's not blatant, you can give the benefit of the doubt when it's not blatant. You can say, hey, he didn't see it. He was on the other side, or he hit his hand while the ball was. This was blatant, and it just there's so many things going on here. You know, it's the Celtics. It's in Boston. We need the win. We have to deal with the equally bad with the equally good from three Lakers on this team. One is Darvin Ham, which I don't even know if there's really a good with him yet, but he's a rookie coach, and we're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. At least I am. Pat Bev, why the hell are you fouling Jaylen Brown when they need a three? Why? Where's this come from? Like, where's the thinking? Why are you bringing a camera on the court? And where the hell is Darvin Ham and the assistant coaches to tell them what the hell you're doing? Get your ass out of here. Where are these guys? Where's the leadership? LeBron was – I had never seen LeBron like that too. I have never seen him, and he deserved every ounce of that frustration. Matter of fact, if he had said, F you guys, I'm out of here, I would have flown to Boston and said, what do you need from me? I'll get you whatever you want. Just get I'll help you. Okay? AD is gassed. He hasn't been playing for 2 months here. He's gassed. He's doing his best to try to get a rebound, to try to do something. And then on top of this, you bring in Russell Westbrook in overtime when he hasn't played a minute in the fourth. At what point does the armchair fan like us start to make sense? Are we not making sense? These guys are professional basketball players and coaches. What's going on? Is the pressure too much? Is the pressure too much that you don't think? Well, guess what? If you're the coach, you need to recognize that and know who to put in those moments. Maybe you should have taken Pat Bev out and put someone else in who wouldn't foul somebody who needs a 3 and they're shooting a 2. Wow.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately fall in overtime, 125 to 121. The blame pie, I guess, according to got to be the shoes. Again, the coaching decisions down the stretch weren't the greatest. The foul by Patrick Beverley, even though he did some good things in that last minute, wasn't the smartest. The Russell Westbrook in overtime wasn't, what you wanted to go ahead and get out of him because, again, he had a horrible game overall. But the fact is, we still got robbed on the last play. And despite all those mistakes that were made, we should have won that game. By all rights, we should have won the game. LRob, I mean, you've been listening to us since you've been able to last interject with your thoughts. You see the frustration on Joe. You see the frustration on myself and Sean. I mean, is there anything that you could provide us as far as maybe some type of way to that we can look upon this as a positive going forward, maybe as motivation that the Lakers can use for the rest of this road trip at least?
Well, I mean, AD will get better. So, I mean, we're used to seeing him play low energy until he's kind of in shape and ready to go. So, I mean, give him a couple more games. When AD gets back and ready to roll, that takes the Lakers up to another level. So that's the one thing we can count on. Having Hatchimura is a challenge because now you got getting Walker back because it kind of throws off your rotation that you already had. And why he had Rudy in I didn't like the matchup where he had him in late in the game. That to me was a bad coaching move. And then you go with the 3 guards. That didn't look good either. So, no, I mean, it's a lot of frustration. It's just we've lost so many games. I mean, you can go to the Indiana game, the first Boston game, in Philly. I mean, it's probably been about 8 or 9 games that the Lakers have lost that they very well could have won, and maybe 2 or 3 that they won they shouldn't have lost. But we're probably down 5 or 6 games that we legitimately had won if we just made one simple play, free throw, box out, the basic stuff. So it's frustrating. But having said all of that, they're only a couple games out of the play-in. AD, if he can stay healthy, he rounds into shape. The Lakers got a better team than most teams in the West. So it's on them to just go ahead and execute and make it happen. They'll do it.
Well, as we said, if leading up to today's show, that we thought that going into Boston was going to be a tough game. But we thought, you know what, if they do win in Boston, it's going to be found money, Sean. The Lakers are still 23 and 27. I know we could take very little solace in that, but if they go ahead and win out the rest of the road trip, or at least win 3 out of 5. If they win 3 out of 5, I still think that by the end of the time, by the All-Star break, they can get back to 500 and really start, having the league take notice. You're on mute. Go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you hope so. You hope so. I think 3 out of 5 is still gettable. But
Because we were thinking that this one was going to be a loss, and it, leading up to it.
Yes, we did. So
You even
like
said,
you said,
Joe.
like you
You
said,
even said, Joe. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I you know what, Gerald, I gotta be honest though. On a email chain we had, I said I felt if we played smart tonight, we might put ourselves in the catbird seat, and we just didn't.
With Smart and Robert Williams being out of the game, that kind of changed the odds in the Lakers.
Of course it did. Yeah, they were missing their 2 best defensive players. That'll change any outlook on a scheme matchup before the game. Of course, definitely. They just there were just ruts too. I mean, we saw the first 10 minutes. Why aren't you attacking the paint? Why aren't you attacking Al Horford east to west? He's still got verticality. He could still alter shots. He's a decent defender, but laterally the foot speed isn't there. So why don't you take advantage of him? We didn't. We didn't take advantage of Boston in the paint to open up the game. It felt choppy throughout. But we still had a chance, Gerald. This is the second time, I believe the last time the Lakers played Boston in the regular season with 2 overtime games is like a long time ago. I think you have to go back to like maybe the 60s for that. But they've taken the number 1 team in the East, and they've lost in overtime twice. And while you say it was supposed to be a loss, Gerald, that's true. But this is going to be.
I didn't say it was supposed to be. I said we were thinking of it in that.
Yeah, you're right.
Joe, myself, and you all thought it was going. You know what? If they go to Boston, they lose. All right, but then we go ahead and just make sure the rest of the thing. Joe,
I didn't say they were gonna. I never said that. I told you I stopped doing that a week ago. I'm not doing that. No, they had a chance.
Most likely,
I felt okay going in this game. I didn't feel like they were going to get dominated.
No, I think they were going to get dominated.
I said I wanted a blowout against the Clippers, and that went south. But this was not. The Lakers have been competitive for the last month, and that's a lot of it without AD. And they've been showing a lot, and they've been getting effed by these freaking a-holes of the NBA, and just a couple guys that just keep making the worst mistakes at the worst time. So we have a week and a half here to get these bums off this team. Okay? Get these bums off this team. I'm tired. I'm tired of these mistakes. I'm tired of it.
Kyle, we all hear what you're saying.
I think we've been saying that the first half hour is that they got robbed.
You're mad. You're mad. We're mad. But we have to talk about what happened in the game as well. And another element of the recipe of the Lakers losing close games is that they just compound their mistakes. If it's not turnovers, it's missed free throws. If it's not bad 3-point shooting, it's not being able to play defense without fouling. If it's not an injury or two, or we only have a 7 or 8 man rotation, like there's just a recipe for our losses, and sometimes it's always different, but the ingredients are roughly about the same. We miss free throws at crucial moments. We have yips when we shouldn't have the yips, especially at the end of the game, and we just end up leaking oil. It didn't help that the rest didn't help us out, but we were leaking oil at the end of the fourth quarter.
I mean, the mistakes were made on our part, but still, even with all the mistakes aside, we should have won that game. That ref should have made that call. It was a fairly easy call to make. He got hit in the arm. We got robbed, and there's just no way to say otherwise. And any Celtics fan that's out there or in this chat or otherwise that's saying otherwise has got to realize, you know what, the Lakers got robbed. They got to admit to themselves. They got to look in the mirror and know that they lucked out tonight because the Lakers won this game and had it taken away from them. It's just that simple. Joe, I know that despite our differences on what was said or not said, you got to go in tonight with the feeling that, you know, the Lakers have had themselves 6 games. And thanks so much, Danny P, for going ahead and subscribing to us on Twitch. Truly appreciated. Want to go ahead and say, though, Joe, that, going in, that's about, like, I think LRob said, you said half a dozen games. Is that correct, LRob? About half a dozen games that have the Lakers should have won and be on.
More than that. I just said it balanced out to half, that they probably got away with a few wins that they maybe didn't deserve. They maybe got 2 or 3, but it's probably been, I don't know, it seems like it's been a lot more than that, Gerald, maybe like 8 or 9. It's been a lot.
It has been a lot indeed. Joe, with that kind of luck that's not on our side, because most of these games have teetered against us, a lot of these it's just sometimes down to mental mistakes, as you pointed out so well. But unfortunately tonight, I think it was just, again, for all the mental mistakes that were done, there was execution down the stretch, but it's still left up to the refs. I just wish there was some way we could avoid having it leave it up to the refs. They decided to go ahead and review everything else except for the one call they didn't want to make.
You can't have mental lapses every game like this and expect to have any consistency. My sadness in this is you have someone who's trying to win so badly, who is still playing so well, who's not being rewarded. And that's LeBron James. LeBron James is doing things I haven't seen him do in the past regularly.
My 89-year-old mom just texted me and said she thinks that they should fire these referees, and she's 89. She could probably see the call better than
she's just trying to make you feel good, G. I get it. I don't.
I put her out in the court as ref more than those 3.
It's hard to fix something that can only be fixed by removing it. Darvin Ham is not at this moment a good coach. He hasn't been able to show he can't even set up a decent timeout play. A lot of times those little things matter. Yeah. They do matter. The little things matter. Can you devise a simple plan? You have, the pressure's off. It's the second quarter. It's the third quarter. It's the first quarter. If you can't handle that, then how are you going to handle these end of the game calls or lineup calls? Is he going to look better if he doesn't have Russell Westbrook and Pat Bev making boneheaded plays? Yeah, but tonight should have proved that he has no control over this team. Because had I been the coach, Pat Bev would have been in the locker room for doing that camera stunt. I am not joking. I would have said, get the F out of here right now and take that camera with you. You cannot allow your team to do that. You cannot allow your team to do that. That point was very important in overtime. And that was what kept us from not having to shoot a 3 a couple times. We could have gone to the hole. We could have had LeBron get to the hole. And maybe by some miracle, they would actually call the foul when it was a foul. There are too many problems on this team. It's the coach. It's 2 and 3 players. I should say 2 really, that have cost us the little things. And the little things has meant losses.
And he means Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley.
It is. You have a week and a half to remove $60 million off your books to get something or someone or some people in here that will not make those mistakes. Because if this is what LeBron's going to do, he hasn't given me any reason that he's not going to do this another 2-3 years. I've watched Tom Brady, guys, and he's playing football. Yes, I know they're protected in the NFL. I know, I get it. It's still football, though, okay? That guy's getting hit every week in some way. If Tom Brady is going to play until he's 45, LeBron is playing basketball. He's going to play another 2-3 years. So you need to make a decision on whether you're going to let this guy try to win a damn title for the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. Got to be the shoes is right. Right now, Anthony Davis is calling out the refs. I've never seen him this vocal before. AD's normally very stoic. You rarely know.
He's taking a lot. He's taking a fine for the team.
He's taking a fine for the team here,
and he needs to. I hope he mentioned Adam Silver because You guys know I love Adam Silver, but boy, has he really tanked this last year. I don't know what's going on in New York, but I feel like he's lost the grip on the league a little bit here. What is going on? Adam, get your act together, dude. Come on. We've always had a problem with NBA refs, but this is worse. And they're not even replacement refs. This is bad. You had a marquee game tonight, okay? A marquee game. And all we're talking about is garbage. We should be talking about Lakers going in and punking a 1 seed in the East and letting you know that the Lakers, as bad as they've been playing, there is still a little bit of a crack if they just do a couple things. And I'm scared that they're not. I'm going to feel okay when I get off the show, guys. Again, this is sports related. I'm not going to go and kick my dog. I don't have a dog anyways, but I don't do that stuff. This is about sports. This is about, enjoying what we're watching here. And it's tragic that we're excited about a Celtic-Laker game and they played their rear end off with that hostile crowd. And for them to be rewarded with this, that's bad for the NBA and that's bad for the Lakers and it's bad for everyone except Jaylen Brown. Apparently Jaylen Brown turned to Michael Jordan tonight. He pushed off, I don't know how many times, Sean, maybe 4 or 5 times in the last quarter.
Yeah, 4 times, Joe.
Yeah. So what are you blind? You not see it? Oh, you didn't want to have him foul out? Is that what it was? A foul's a foul, like Stu Lance says. A foul is a foul. Start telling your league, Adam Silver, that you guys need to stop swallowing your whistle. If a ref calls that a foul, he is not going to get in trouble because it's on video. It's on tape. But because he didn't call it, it's worse now.
Has the NBA ever suspended a ref on a call? Have they ever?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
There is precedent for it. That Jason Goble should be suspended. That was I don't want anybody to lose their job. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I don't want to see anybody lose their job if they don't have to. But when you do a bad job for your employer, you deserve to go home and think about your responsibility and why you failed. And maybe when you come back after some reflection, you'll do a better job. But that was inexcusable. That's inexcusable. Anybody else in the same position would have made that foul call. And they need to ask Jason Goble why you didn't make the call, man. What happened? Did you freeze? Did you freeze? Is that what happened? Tell us the truth. And then he gets suspended for a few games. Hopefully he learns his lesson, but he should be suspended.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do fall in overtime, 125 to 121. They fall to 23 and 27, still 13th in the Western Conference. After they got robbed tonight, once again, as I will go ahead and everybody else is talking about as well. One of the things, though, I've seen in the chat, and by the way, thanks so much to all the Twitch followers that we've gotten in the tonight, hearing that magical ching right there for you, the magical just yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Sorry, Gerald. Lee, do you remember years ago when Timmy Duncan was on the bench and he was laughing it up with Manu and Joey Crawford kicked him out of the game? Yep. He was suspended indefinitely. The NBA suspended Joey Crawford. So I expect the NBA to suspend Jason Goble. I think that's the right thing to do here.
Well, once again,
Joey Crawford was very tenured too. I mean, one of the best.
Yes, he was. Absolutely. He had coached thousands of games before then, and this guy's only coached a couple hundred.
But I want to go ahead and thank everybody for watching, listening to the over 30 Lakers Facebook groups. We truly want to thank you and welcome you to the Lakers Fast Break. We're on every post game, plus we up during the game on playback.watch TV. You can also get us wherever you get your podcasts, both audio and video. Also, as well, to the over 5,000 Instagram followers right there for you on Instagram at Courtside Lakers. And of course, our Twitch channel, which again, we've got new subscribers. You heard that magical little tone there. So we truly appreciate everybody out there. Thanks so much for watching and listening. And truly, if you can, subscribe to us to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air. LRob, I do want to go ahead and ask you something. It's something also within the chat, the back and forth in regards to Darvin Ham. Why lay so much blame on Darvin Ham? Why lay so much blame on Russell Westbrook? Why lay so much blame on this and that? I see a lot of people questioning the decision again as Zangerstein. I don't know. People are asking why he keeps on relying upon this 3 small guard lineup like he did at certain times in the game today, especially with Lonnie Walker, the fourth, coming back, and Rui Hashimura, which you just traded for. That should theoretically bring you enough size that you don't have to necessitate that. But then again, we saw a stretch in the second half with 3 guards once again.
Yeah. So, well, first, let me, Sean, you mentioned Joey Crawford. I got to tell a great Joey Crawford story. So, earlier this season at a Pistons game, I looked up and I seen Joey Crawford walking along the sidelines. And I, from my seat, I was like, Joey! And he looked up and he acknowledged me. I said, give me a call, Joey, give me a call. And he did his little travel call where he took the little hop skip. And the little group, that was watching them just start clapping. So Joey Crawford was one of the best referees. We need more guys like Joey Crawford in the league. Yeah, he had it in for the Spurs too. So of course that endeared him to me a little bit more as well. Okay, so let me see. So my whole thing with Russ, Russ give it, Russ take it away. Russ, the Lakers need Russ athleticism and playmaker skills. They do. So if they get rid of him, and I mean somebody else is going to have to come in and fill that void, or maybe if they're a great shooter, then they can make it up with the shooting. You just got to take Russ out in those last 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, ever since that Philly play where he went in against Embiid, though, it seems like something's happened to him. He's changed, and has been really bad. I don't know how long was that, 2 weeks ago. Before that, Russ was playing, he was definitely a positive player and a good reason why we were able to tread water when LeBron and AD was out, because what he was bringing to the table. I mean, he sets guys up for a lot of easy baskets. And when you're aggressive like that and you're a playmaker, you got to take some of the turnovers that goes with it. So I'm not as bad on Russ as some people, but yeah, if we need to, if we can get something for him, somebody that complements the team better, yes. But I mean, let's not blame Russ for everything, okay? I mean, that's too easy. It's
and nor are we. I mean, but I still
think he takes his unfair share of criticism. He wasn't in the fourth quarter. You know what? So we can't blame.
No, but I'm talking about those small 3 guard lineups with Russell like that we saw in the first stretch in the third quarter.
Yeah. So I think he goes small too often. Yes, he does. So
I'm sorry, LRob, I can't agree with that. He is a problem.
That's the beauty of this diverse group of Lakers fans, yo.
Yeah, he makes 2 or 3 crucial mistakes almost every game, and a lot of it is at the end of the game. He is not.
Well, Joe, I just said take him out at the end of the game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I agree.
But they won't do it.
At the end of the game, his decision making isn't the best. So you take the ball out of his hands by having him on the bench. But putting him in overtime, he was the one that got the Lakers back in the game when he scored those quick 5 or 6 points. Other than that, they probably would have got blown out.
Yep.
So, Pat Bev, I mean, he's been knocking down that 3 ball when he plays like that. And the one thing that both of those guys bring to the table is they want a challenge. Westbrook was the one that took on checking Luka when everybody else act like they're scared of him. He was the one that got physical with Luke. Pat Bev is the one out there that got him out there defending Tatum. Who's gonna take on those responsibilities if you get rid of those two and you get somebody like Buddy Hield? Tell me. Who's gonna guard somebody?
I can tell you right now, Rua could give it a try, give it a shot.
He
They
can't
both got
move
Lonnie Walker.
laterally. He can't move laterally, G. He can't.
Well, Pat Bev at 6'1", you saw him get beaten by Tatum and Brown.
I know, but I want somebody at least that wants to. I mean, Schroeder, Dennis will take on the challenge. We need some guys with that mindset. And I don't know who else they have on the team with that mindset. So
you're talking about Pat Bev, not Dennis Schroeder.
No, yeah. I said Dennis has that mindset.
Yeah.
Pat Bev has that mindset. So I mean, I gotta congratulate that. I mean, that's a good mindset to have. And when you're hitting the 3 ball like he has, yes, but if you can package those guys and get somebody else that complements the team, bring them in. I'm all for it. We haven't seen the Lakers with their full complement of guys together yet, right? Beginning of the season, when they started off 2-10, Dennis was out, and the big fella was out. So we and then once they came back, the Lakers have been a much better team once those guys came back. And then AD went down. So yeah, make the move. But if you can't make the move, the Lakers have enough guys on their team right now to beat anybody in the Western Conference, except for maybe the Clippers. For some reason, they just, the Clippers play on their best game of the year every time they play the Lakers. So I haven't seen any evidence that they can beat them. But anybody else in the West, who else is there to worry about?
Well, right now, 500 is there to worry about because we need to get back to 500 before we start.
The last step, Darvin Ham, yes. You hire a rookie coach, you got to take the lumps. There's no way around it. I mean, I don't know what you guys want. He's a rookie coach. Rookie coaches are going to make some mistakes. He's trying to figure out this roster that he's been dealt and figure out what's the best way to go. Has he done I give him a C. I mean, he's managed it. He got the guys playing hard. That's the first step. Now he's got to figure out how to use the pieces.
He was an assistant coach for how long? Over 10 years in the league, right?
A long time. Yeah.
So when Jaylen Brown
sliding over that one chair is a big deal, though.
I understand that, but somebody's got to point out to him, even if it's not him. If Sean Grice can point out that Jaylen Brown has 5 fouls early in the fourth quarter, and they don't, once again, they do not at any point in time go at him at all to try and get him on a 6.
Who was he guarding?
He was guarding it. They had either Pat Beverley or Dennis Schroeder on him. But you were watching the game too, Lee. You saw LeBron's not afraid to use one of those small guards
pick and roll.
Yeah. So I was really surprised. And you know what? I get it. You're on the court. You don't care who has 5 fouls or that. That's for the coaching staff and the assistants to get in your ear and say, "Hey, LeBron, AD, Pat, Jaylen Brown has 5 fouls. If we get him out of the game, that completely changes the way they have to play defense on the perimeter because there's no Marcus Smart now, and there's no
that was bad.
Jaylen Brown.
I agree, that was bad, but it was just as bad as not giving the ball to Anthony Davis when he's got Brogdon guarding him.
Oh my God, that was another one. That was another one.
Set a back screen, cut to the center in the paint, and catch the ball and turn around and shoot. I mean, that's like, to me, that's worse than the 3-guard rotation. That's worse than Westbrook. That's worse than Pat Bev. That's worse than all the other
basics, right, Lee?
Not attacking that mismatch.
Right. It's the basics, right, Lee?
Yeah, that's mind-boggling. And you got him checking Al Horford. I don't care. Throw it to Al Horford in the corner. Cut off stand in the paint. Cheat off of him. Make them throw it to him. Because these guys, Brown and Tatum, they want to slash. They want to get to the rack. And Horford don't want to shoot a lot anyway.
No.
Joe's just taking this all in. Got to be the shoes. Joe, anything to add on? Because I know Lee just made some great points.
I think because we're doing a talk show, we have to say something, but I'm done talking. I want action. And we have 12 days to fix this problem. and you need to start thinking about your number one guy now. LeBron's dropping 40 points a game now.
41 tonight.
Okay, so that guy's going to be playing a while. Okay, he is. He's built different, guys. If you didn't, you can deny it all you want. Anyone who can deny all you want. That guy dropped, what was it, 7 threes tonight, 6 threes? And we needed those. We needed those too. He picked the perfect night to make a lot of threes, and we would have won this game, and he would have had the game-winning free throws or game-winning layup. It's a disservice to the game. It really is. It's a disservice to the game. It's a disservice to at this point, he's a top 5 player. He's still the face of your league. David Stern protected Michael Jordan. He never protected anyone other than Michael Jordan. And that was at a time when the league was at its highest, which was between 1979 and 1998. And then after David Stern pretty much just took the NBA to crap from 98 till he left, there hasn't been any kind of like getting the right setup with your stars. And that's just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than Lakers need to do something here to help the situation and help this guy get some help, because this guy can win you games in the playoffs. And when AD gets into shape, he'll be better. He wasn't good tonight. He's out of gas. He just didn't have enough in the tank. He hasn't been playing a while. NBA, guys, it is so hard to play in the NBA. You got to imagine playing and how hard it is. Okay, you got guys like Dwight Howard who are built like gods. Okay, and he can't even be in the NBA at the moment. It is hard to play in the NBA. And the fact that you have LeBron playing like he's playing 2016, you have to take advantage of this. And you have to get to 18 before the Celtics. Wake the F up, figure something out, use all your resources, use all your connections, get this guy help. Say a Hail Mary that AD will stay healthy the rest of the year. That's all you can do there.
You need more than one Hail Mary.
This guy a freaking guy or guys that can not have him play 38 to 44 minutes a game.
I'd like to, sorry, Joe, to interrupt, but this is a quote from Big Game James Worthy.
Oh, okay, because I got one too. Go ahead.
Big Game James has played in a lot of big games in college and the pros. He knows what he's talking about. So here's what Mr. Worthy had to say on the foul at the end of regulation. He said, "That one right there pissed me off. That was one of the worst referee crews that I seen officiating a game. That referee crew shouldn't get to call more big games. They should be ashamed. They really should." I agree. I don't think that crew should coach one playoff game. It's too integral to our sport. The integrity of this game means more than one player, one official, one call. But that right there was just unforgivable.
I want to say, though, that add on to it, Dave McMenamin on Twitter reported, in a pool report from tonight's game, referee Eric Lewis admitted the officials missed a call at the end of regulation that would have awarded LeBron James potential game-winning free throws. So,
yeah, but it's not. It's
stick it up your rear end.
They was bad the whole game. That's
the whole game.
Missed one call. No, you didn't. You were terrible from beginning to end.
It was the same thing with the Mavs and Lakers game. Somebody wants to point to one call. They missed 7 in the last 2 minutes. They missed 7 calls in the last 2 minutes. This year, this officiating has been garbage. It really has. And I am not paying another dime to watch this. I've been to a few Raps games this year. I didn't like the officiating at any of them. It felt really choppy on both sides for both teams. And they got to do something about this. They really do. They need to get under the hood and figure out what's going. Like I told you before, Gerald, I remember when Monty McCutcheon was our actual NBA referee. He was a good referee. He was one of the best referees they had. He was willing to listen to guys when they had complaints or, Monty, I thought you missed this. He wouldn't yell at them. He wouldn't tee them up. But now he's in charge of these officials, and he needs to go under the hood and figure out what's going on here. And it starts with that crew. And look, I'll cut Eric Lewis some slack. Like I said, he's refereed over 1,000 games, but those other two guys, you can't have them in a crucial game again.
Well, again, to the individual out there trying to disrupt our chat, it's a bad call. You absolutely know it's a bad call. Sorry that you feel that you do not like the Lakers and the 17 championships that we won. But, as I put you in timeout for your abusive language to our the best Lakers chat that's out there, understand this. Thank you so much for watching and listening, but please understand we're a Lakers channel and we're going to support the Lakers. And if they get screwed, we're going to call it like we see it. The Lakers got screwed today. None other than that. Go ahead, Joe.
We gave some common sense commentary on that.
Mm-hmm. And that individual was kind of disputed.
We were very clear. If the referee was and by the way, LRob said it best, this was a whole game of assness. This was not just one play. It was just the button. It was the perfect button on all the crap officiating for the game. If the referee was not right there looking at it, if the referee, if the hand was on the ball and he hit the hand, fine. This was a hack in front of the ref against LeBron James. Call the mother effing foul. We win this game. We're happy. We're talking about going into Brooklyn and whooping some ass there because I really believe this, and maybe they might. Maybe this will click. Maybe they'll go to Brooklyn and New Orleans and Madison Square Garden and do some things now because they had been playing well for the last couple months. They've been getting jacked. They've been getting jacked this time. And I have not seen this kind of officiating in a long time. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's rigged. Because that's too easy to say. Okay, it's incompetence. It's worrying about the chowder heads. It's worried about the chowder heads. What are you worried about? What's Mark Wahlberg gonna come and beat you up? He should be asleep by now. Doesn't he wake up at 2 a.m. to go work out? The hell's he doing there?
One of the Wahlbergs there. Which one are the Wahlbergs? The one that's on Blue
I don't know. They all look the same to me.
The one that's on Blue Bloods was there in the front row with
the Donnie from New Kids on the Block. Crappy music.
Well, again, the Lakers, unfortunately, as Sean gets blocked, maybe it's the Wahlberg joke, but I don't know. Once again, the Lakers do fall, but hopefully we can go ahead and get back on the right track. LRob, before we head on out, the game is on Monday. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody the times when we're going to go on the air with the Lakers Fast Break live watch party here in a minute. But what do the Lakers need to do to get back on track and close out this road trip on some really good notes?
I mean, they shot the ball decently. They rebounded decently. The turnovers were not a problem. I think if they duplicate their effort they played today, they just got to kind of figure out the rotations because you got guys coming in, guys coming back. They got to figure out what's going to be their 9-man rotation and figure it out. But it's not a whole lot. Like Joe's been saying, they've been playing decent. Just keep doing what they're doing and incorporate Anthony Davis more. If he's in the game, give him the ball. LeBron, Taylor, Anthony. I mean, he's just coming back, so we got to give him a week maybe or a couple more games to get ready. But no, play like you was playing. Go down in that post and demand the ball. I'm gonna throw you the ball, turn around and score. Shoot it. Get some fouls on them. I mean, be a little more aggressive. That's the only thing I can see changing. The rest of the guys, keep doing what you're doing. The guys are going to do what they've been doing.
Well, one last thing I want to hit you guys up before we head on out. It was noted today by Adrian Wojnarowski that Myles Turner, who's been the source of much fascination for Lakers fans as far as a possible trade, got extended today 2 years and also got his current year reworked in one of the rare times under the CBA that they allow a reworking of his current contract to be done so, and it was, plus adding another 2 years on there. Joe, I know you dismissed it, but I know Laker Tom has already got the trades started even more now. He said this makes Myles Turner even more attractive in a trade to a team. Your thoughts on Myles Turner? Does it mean anything? Does it mean he's just going to stay a Pacer? What are your thoughts on Myles Turner now getting his extension?
The Pacers can make the playoffs this year. Why would they trade him?
Well,
who are they going to get for him? What are they doing? Why would they trade him to lose what? To lose more games to get the first pick? I mean, they'd have to lose the next 20 games in a row to get even close to probably having a chance, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where this fascination with Indiana and the trade with Indiana, either you don't understand basketball or you haven't understood the Laker history with Indiana. Indiana hates Rob Pelinka. They accuse him of tampering. They don't like us. They are not going to take anything other than our internal organs to get those guys. And the Lakers have already made it very, very, very clear. They are not trading unprotected picks for the future for anyone other than front-running talent, which I don't see anyone giving up front. It would have to be Damian Lillard, someone of his ilk, saying, get me the F out of here, or I'm not playing, or something like that, which who's going to do that? Who? I don't know anyone right now that's disgruntled, that's a star. Other than Durant this summer, that was it. He's not going to, he's not going to come to LA. He's fine. Kyrie Irving, are they going to sign his extension? Are they going to sign him at the end of the year? I guess that could be something too. But I'm telling you right now, the only way you get rid of Westbrook and Pat Bev is you have to hope that there's some team out there that finally says we need to get these big contracts out with some of the middle tier good players. Because Lakers need about 2 or 3 of those guys that are going to be disciplined, guys that are going to understand team concept, play good defense, team defense, and not make stupid decisions at the worst time, like bringing a camera out on the court when it's overtime.
Unfortunately the problem is now that it's this has become sort of a volcano because drip by drip it's coming out that the official who missed the call on LeBron, Jason Goebel, had a run-in with Wanda Durant last year. They both got into a verbal spat, apparently. There's also stuff going around that and again, this is just social media. Before he was an NBA official, Jason Goebel was a police officer for the Miami-Dade Police. And if anybody needs any context for that, the mafia in Miami was very instrumental in the problems of rigging games and gambling in the NBA in the early 2000s. So this is not a good look overall for the NBA. Not a good look at all.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. LRob, it's been so tremendous having you here along with MagicMan Sean Grice and Joe Soro. Our next game is 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on Monday as the Lakers face off against the Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully they will take this aggression into Brooklyn and sweep New York along with the Knicks the next day. Any last thoughts, LRob, before we head on out?
No, I'm just looking forward to seeing this group come together. Be glad when Reeves comes back and the Lakers have their full complement of players and then see what they can do. I mean, I think they got a decent roster. I'm not counting on any, no one's gifting the Lakers anything. The Lakers have been beating people up for as all of our lives. So, you know what? Thank God we got a decent relationship with Washington. and they'll make some moves with us. But I'm not expecting the cavalry to come riding in on the white horse in the last minute before the trade deadline. So this is what we got. Let's suck it up. Let's suit up and let's go. Like you guys been saying, LeBron, he's playing better than he was last year. LeBron is playing at an incredible clip. If AD gets back to how he was playing early in the season when LeBron wasn't playing that great, he was playing good, but he wasn't playing like an all-time great. He was playing like a guy who was an all-star, not like the great, one of the greatest ever, but he's playing like, lights out right now. AD come back, guys. The Lakers they got pieces. Luka's not going to be sitting down, or those guys, Joker, and those guys aren't going to be sitting around crying and saying, get LeBron some more help. He's got some guys. Figure it out. Win.
Couldn't have said it better myself. They need to figure it out, and they need to win, but they also have to have even games called for them, and the refs need to start seeing the game a whole lot better and more fair for both teams, and in this case, the Lakers, absolutely. So getting robbed does not have us feel good, but the Lakers, unfortunately, with a very great effort, unfortunately fall in overtime, 125-121 after they get robbed, as we indicated several times throughout the show. If you have any comments, please go ahead and let us know at Lakers Fast Break, wherever you get your social media. You can always put it down below after you see this. If you're watching us and it's not live, it's always welcome to. Please go ahead and like and subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. If you're on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out. I cannot thank enough the several people who have subscribed and liked our video and channel during the course of this great podcast that we had, that we could get together as Lakers fans after such a tough loss and vent together. Sean, Joe, I gave LRob some final thoughts. You guys get the same. Any last thoughts before we head on out?
Sean, go ahead.
It's not like me to complain about the officiating. Lee's known me for years. Gerald, you've known me for a few years, and Joe, we're just about a year into our friendship. I don't normally complain about officiating. I think they try and do the best job they can on most days, and most of them try and do the job with integrity. But this year, I haven't seen the kind of integrity that the NBA game needs from its officiating. And it's not just us. I am a hoop head. I watch basketball if it's on at 10 in the morning and I'm home, if it's on at 3 in the afternoon and I'm home, if it's on at 7 if I'm home. I have seen the officiating this year throughout the league. It's been bad. It's been really, really bad. And Joe says it's been a while since he's seen it this bad. Me too, because I'm going back in my memory recall here, try and figure out a year it was just this bad overall. Like sometimes there are years where there are pockets of bad crews here and there, but for the most part, overall, it's been a bad product from the officials, and I want the NBA to address this first and foremost. This is their number one problem. It's the officiating. It's finally come to a head. You can't just say to the fans anymore, well, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're seeing. Well, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And now there's video evidence throughout the league, and it's not just with the Lakers, that you've blown games for this league. Let the players decide the outcome. You guys are there to be unbiased and impartial. So do your job. Do your freaking, almost said it, job.
Thank you. All right, my friend. But I will say, though, that in a league where gambling is now becoming very prevalent, tonight's game, the spread would not have been in doubt. The Lakers would have won the cover for you, no doubt. This was just bad eyesight. This was just a bad call or no call in this situation. Joe, any last thoughts before we head on out?
Yeah, and it fits. It totally fits your gambling comment. They had 2 dildos that were opening up our feed. And I think I made the comment of where they find these guys at spring break in Florida. Like this is who you have introducing the Celtics and the Lakers. It's a clown show. When you allow this kind of stuff to happen, you. But again, at the end of the day, all they care about is the green. Okay, well, and we're eating it. We're eating it. We're not going anywhere. We're watching their advertisements. And they're going to keep doing it. The only way to stop this is if, 10 million of us say F you and F the refs and F these clowns and we're out. We're not watching the game. That's the only way this thing's going to change. I hope LeBron and AD go into practice tomorrow and tell everyone, F the refs, F the commissioner, F everything. Let's go to Brooklyn. Let's go to Madison Square Garden. Let's go to New Orleans and let's whoop some ass on the road. Let the Lake show. Let's bring the Lake show and let's whoop some ass. And that to me is what I would prefer to hear from those guys. And I thought I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it now that Sean has mentioned it. AD telling everyone on Sportsnet that this is. I'm not going to curse G. Don't worry about it.
No, I was telling Sean because Sean, don't interrupt Joe when he's on a roll.
Yeah, I want to go hear what AD said because AD is one of the few guys that will do a post interview that I actually am engaged in. He doesn't say cliches. He tells you things that you want to. I'd like to hear anyways. He doesn't. He just talks normal. That's the only way I can explain it. So I'm going to go watch that. And he's taken a $50,000 hit on this. And I'm wondering if Sportsnet is going to look at James Worthy and say, hey, dude, that was your one shot this year. You can't, criticize the NBA. But if I'm hoping James said some big game, James, you can eat it. I don't care. I'll go work with Jim Hill if you have a problem with it. But I'll go back to working with Jim Hill. The road trip could be that therapy the rest of the way, and we'll be here to watch it. I feel we're gonna know after the Brooklyn game where this team wants to go. I think we're gonna find out if it broke them. We're gonna find out. I think in the next game, if it didn't break them. They have a good road trip the rest of the way. And I'm feeling like that might be what happens.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately fall in overtime after getting robbed by the refs, 125-121. We'll be back on Monday again for Lakers live watch party at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. Right there for you. It is playback.tv/Lakers fast break. Please be a part of it. It's great conversations that we had. It's the Lakers as they head into Brooklyn. Hopefully they're going to take over the state of New York in the next couple games. And then after that game against Brooklyn, it's the best Lakers post game that's out there with the best Lakers chat room that's out there. It is the Lakers Fast Break podcast. So for LRob, we thank you so much, man. Great to see you. I want to say publicly, it is just so awesome to have you back with us. I hope that you will be able to find the time to be with us as much as you want, as many times as you want. Hopefully it'll be more often. Joe Soro, please go ahead and support him in SoCal. If you need your lawn transformed into something else different today, go ahead. Simblades with a Y.com. He is working hard. We apologize. We could not do the quiz show because Joe was working real hard at simblades.com. So, man.
I have a confession.
Okay.
My dinner Friday night was work related, but then I was at my cousin's restaurant not too far from my house, and we dropped down some very tasty adult beverages, and the night got extended. If you ever go to Menifee in Southern California, go to a restaurant called Savage Chef. Order the steak or cavatelli. The pasta's made in-house. That's cavatelli. And order the Savage Cowboy. And you will not leave for a few hours.
And all this time, I thought you were working hard at Sin Blades.
Oh, I was working. I was talking about workers' comp and insurances and whether I should convert my Suburban to business and all that boring stuff. But I always like to say balance is key in life. So work hard, play hard. I would have made it on time, but I know you had to leave, which was the bummer. I made it on time. I shouldn't say I made it on time. I was about 10 minutes off of 6. So sorry
and
about
I
that.
didn't want to rush it. I want, the first Lakers quiz show that we have, I want it to be real special. I want to go ahead and make sure it's something that everybody will appreciate as an extra show that we do. NBA observations, the Lakers quiz show, and Lakers history 101. Make sure you go ahead and check those shows out as well. Also have in the coming days a great interview with TJ Johnson, who will add on to Joe's and Sean's thoughts on the 2012 Lakers. So I'm looking forward to going ahead and uploading that to the channel in the coming days as well. But for Sean Grice, the Magic Man, the guy who just can't get out of Toronto traffic, who really wants to go ahead and plow into Toronto traffic after a game like this. Also as well, Joe Soro, Mr. Simblades himself, and Ox1947 at LakersBall.com, and LRob, the great LRob, who is doing so much more better than I am right now in the Lakers Fast Break Fantasy Basketball League. Not my year indeed, but it is the Lakers Fast Break. We truly appreciate you being part of the best Lakers experience that's out there, and we'll see you Monday to continue it right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Have a good evening, everyone. We got Rob!